Where do you stand with Matt Eberflus 3 weeks post-trade deadline now that he's got all of his weaponry in hand, and he's got returning players too? So you talk about the DeMarvion Overshones of the world. Savon Revel has been very good.
Neither one on a pitch count last night.
Exactly.
I say last night, game ended at night. It was in the afternoon.
And to see them pretty much full go now is incredible. But you talk about Quinnen Williams, you talk about Logan Wilson being the trade deadline acquisitions. We talked about a whole new look defensively. They are running a 5-man front.
Yep.
Things are different. And I'm kind of in the same boat as somebody here on the fan text from the 817. They said, I think he just needed the right pieces for his defense. And now that he has them, we have to give him a chance because it's turning around for sure. And it is. Because at first it went from, it's just the Raiders. Then it went to, okay, but the Eagles are off and on. Okay, cool. And then it went to arguably the most talented quarterback in the NFL. I know he hasn't been the best quarterback in the NFL this season, but Patrick Mahomes. It's Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid.
Who's so dangerous.
And that offense for Kansas City the past few weeks has been rolling. Ever since Rashee Rice came off of that 6-game suspension to start the year.
And by the way, shout out to him. He comes back. SMU's on it. Rashee Rice, he scores the first touchdown in the game. He was a weapon all night long. Yeah, except for that one drop.
And he had a pair of them yesterday. He had a great game outside of that crucial drop over the middle that ultimately costed them a scoring opportunity.
Yeah, Patrick Mahomes is so dangerous. And I got to say this about the defense again. Patrick Mahomes is so dangerous. He threw 4 touchdown passes, but at one point, Cowboys defense had 5 stops, 5 straight stops to allow the Cowboys offense to catch up and take the lead. And at the same time, the week before, Eagles go out to a 21-point lead. The Cowboys win that game. It matches the greatest comeback in Cowboys history, 21 points down. And in that game, the defense had 8 consecutive stops. So he's got his pieces. He's looking good. Before we take some more text and we talk some more with some numbers, go a little deeper with the numbers, here's Dak Prescott after the game last night talking about this new revitalized defense.
Yeah, their confidence. And that grows when you go out there and you make the plays and you win the games that we have against the 2 quarterbacks that those guys just, went and had outstanding performances against. It only grows further. And so they're a collective group, as I said, right, that we made some changes and, got some additions. And they felt like we also got some guys healthy and came back. And so I think, for a few weeks there, it wasn't even our defense, right? It wasn't the defense that's out there. And now we've got a group that's very confident in who they are and what they're doing in their communication. And you feel it throughout the week and just watching them go against the scout team and the reps that I do get to see. And then when you get out here on Sunday, they've just been impressive as hell. The biggest difference to me is just their third downs, the way they're making plays, getting off the field on third downs, giving us opportunities. And that breeds confidence to us.
I like that Dak mentioned third down defense there because they held Patrick Mahomes and company to 5 of 13 on third down in yesterday's game. The biggest stop, a 3-and-out in the fourth quarter after Dallas had retaken the lead. That's usually a part of the game that Mahomes and Andy Reid seem to have all of the answers to the homework. They were totally fooled by that pop quiz. The Cowboys' bigger front generated so much pressure, had Mahomes rolling out, and there was a pass where he literally had to send himself in the air, completed a pass like 34 yards downfield. Incredible stuff. He was still Patrick Mahomes, but they were making him uncomfortable all game, and they were mitigating the run game, especially in the second half. The first half, the Chiefs, in that first drive especially. First two drives, you really saw, and you hear it all the time, the scripted plays. Yeah. Andy Reid, one of the best in the business at drawing up an opening game plan to try to score first, and he does it with high levels of success. After that, it felt like they weren't really gashing as much. Right. I do think the
only gashing was Patrick Mahomes with his footwork.
Yeah.
He is deft. I mean, you would think, oh, he's sacked, and no, he starts running.
Yeah, and a lot of that has to do with the open looks that you are giving other players across the defensive line. And I just keep pointing to Oso Digizua because now that you add Quinnen Williams in there, he's eating a lot less of the attention. Kenny Clark is starting to play better, like his first couple games with the Cowboys.
Look at Jadeveon Clowney, 2 sacks yesterday.
And I believe Quinnen Williams ended up having 10 rushing snaps where he was double teamed, which ended up just freeing up other people. And then Sam Williams. Sam Williams has found a new breath of life with the new additions around him, and he's starting to look like the talented player that we knew he could be. And we know there is a trade-off that happens with Sam Williams. The Sam Williams experience is very akin to the George Pickens experience. For every big play that he makes, and I'm talking about George Pickens more so in his Pittsburgh years, for every big play he made, he had 2 personal fouls. It seemed like that was always the case. Sam Williams with a roughing the passer, or maybe on a punt block, he runs into a kicker or something. But
I see what you just did there with the George Pickens. Let me explain, because tell me if I'm reading your mind right. Whenever there was a flag down by George Pickens the last couple of games, you're like, what did he do now?
Yes.
Oh, thank God it's only a pass interference.
Yeah, it's just a PI. But I got so terrified when I think it was a pass on the near sideline late in the game.
Yeah.
He got hit up high,
and
he immediately took his helmet off.
Right.
And I was like, keep that helmet on.
They're going to pick on you.
If you get penalized for that and wipe out that big gain, I'm going to be so mad. But he slid it right back on it. I think some of his teammates were even telling him, get the helmet back on.
What it was is somebody hit him in the back of the head.
Yeah.
So he took the helmet off, and because he's in pain.
Yeah.
He don't know the Emmitt Smith rule.
Yep.
Ever since Emmitt Smith was taking his helmet off on touchdowns, they said, you cannot take your helmet off.
Yeah.
And by the way, the only person that ever gotten away with his helmet being off and still kept playing, Jason Witten on that long run. Remember that one?
Yep, that replay's in my head.
They got that on the mural on the wall in the Star. I mean, it's a gigantic mural. Got Jason Witten with his helmet off running down the field.
One of the best plays ever.
By the way, he's a finalist for those who didn't hear. The Hall of Fame, he and Darren Woodson are finalists again this year.
Yes, and we need to do right for Darren Woodson. Man, I don't know how many petitions I have to sign. I don't know, oh my gosh. I just go back real quick because I love when Nate Newton says this. He says it a lot whenever he brings it up. He was like,
we don't have sub packages.
We don't have sub packages. We have Darren Woodson.
Woody was doing everything.
He did everything.
He was the green dot before they even invented a green dot on the helmet.
Just the absolute definition of a field general.
My theory, and I told Woody, I said, I think these dumb writers who are voting, they think you're already in. They think because Charles Woodson and other Woodson from the Steelers, Rod Woodson, they think that you're already in because you were another Woodson. And even though you still have the Cowboys record for tackles, you got Super Bowl rings, you just kind of blurred in the Woodson era. Like, did we already get him in there? No, he's not in.
Which is a shame.
He's not the least talented of those Woodsons. They're all 3 great in their own ways.
From the 469, if Turpin doesn't recover that Pickens fumble, you're calling Pickens a bum today. No, I'm not.
No, not a bum.
No. I'm going to say you need to be better in that moment, but I'm not calling him a bum.
He got punched out, and it got punched out while he was falling down.
Yeah, but he was also right after the catch. He pivoted to the one hand, and he was carrying it in the palm of his hand. And I said out loud, tuck the ball, and he did, but still, I think it might have been a little bit too late. He was a little bit lazy with it, but again, Kevontae Turpin, one of the hardest working guys on the team. I'm going to keep saying it. He saved the game for you in that play. But again, we're asking you guys, where do you stand with Matt Eberflus after 3 weeks or 3 games rather of this new look defense? Where do you stand? And from the 737, they said, I can't believe we let Mahomes get out of those sacks. We probably would have scored again if we make that play where he found Worthy wide open down the field, which I do agree with you. But at the same time, that's Patrick Mahomes.
It is.
That's just Patrick Mahomes.
He's a magician out there. He has not done this only to the Cowboys. And by the way, that was the only time he's ever played at AT&T Stadium. First time he's ever done it. He was backup for Alex Smith a few years earlier. And by the way, Dak and Patrick Mahomes are now 1-1 because Cowboys went up to Kansas City a few years ago, and Kansas City won that game. And we've got a total from the 903 says, as a former collegiate defensive lineman, I was so ticked off at how much they were not keeping their gaps in the passing rush, allowing Mahomes huge gaps. I'm telling you, I was at that game. What you're seeing on TV, I know what you're thinking. But Patrick Mahomes has insane footwork. I mean, he's elite scrambling. There's a reason he can throw the ball sideways. That's that baseball in him. You know, he can throw all kinds of passes. You never even think of a regular quarterback won't even try to attempt.
Yeah, he completed a couple no-look passes yesterday.
Oh, yeah.
Just
how?
It's just what he does.
That's what he does to everybody.
There was one play where he avoided a sack, and I think he ended up just throwing the ball away on this play, but Sam Williams completely bull rushed on the offensive left side and got him wrapped around, and he just pirouettes, puts his palm on the turf, keeps himself up, and keeps running. That's the magic of Patrick Mahomes. Sam Williams did everything right on that play.
You know what's so funny? Okay, I don't know if you heard the story about, because on Tuesday at the media locker room availability, the Marvion Overshown was telling a story about when he was in grade school. Patrick Mahomes, who was in high school, came to his school to visit because his brother, DeMarvion's older brother, played against Patrick Mahomes in football in high school. And they were talking some trash and stuff, fun, right? He said, I've always wanted to play against him in the NFL, and I'm going to get my chance, on Sunday. So after the game last night, I said, hey, I saw you after you made that tackle on Patrick Mahomes, and both of y'all were laughing and talking, and when y'all got up, I said, did you say something to him? It was, yeah. I said, hey, I've been meaning to hit you. All these years. And he was just laughing and fun. That was funny.
I love that.
That's the East Texas stuff, man.
Oh, yeah. And I did see on the fan text as well that this defense needed leaders. And we finally got them with a returning Overshown and Quinnen Williams. And I keep referring to this, and it's very timely, CA, because we're going to have Nick Harris on at 9:20. He told Kevin and Corey on Monday after the Eagles game, Corey asked, what did Schottenheimer say at halftime that sparked everything? And he goes, he didn't say anything. You know who it was?
Quinnen
Williams.
And so let me tell you what Kenny Clark told me. He said, not only does Quinnen Williams, is he a great player, he tells everybody on the defensive line traits of the offensive lineman they're going against. He says he is like a coach on the field because he said he's so smart, and he just lines up everybody and tells them what the other guy's going to do.
He's been a godsend. It's only been 3 games, I understand, but I am excited about defensive tackle play for the Cowboys in 2025. It's pretty cool.
This is called real momentum.
Yeah.
In other words, we know they're not in the playoffs. They have to have other things work out. But there is a real chance because they believe in themselves that strongly and that they're on a mission. And they got 94 in the back of their minds as well. They got the flag every game. But at the same time, they know they've got the pieces on defense. And that's why that team, may not all the fans, but that team believes in Eberflus.